Welcome to Commander's Daily, everybody. I'm Bob Matthews, your host and your one-stop shop for everything going on with the Local 53. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss a day of it. Well, we have finally made it. It is draft day in just a little over 8 hours. We are going to start picking players here, and we will see who, if anyone, the Commanders take in the first round. Now, we have absolutely no idea. In fact, I don't think anybody has any idea which way they're going. Hell, at this point, Adam Peters and Lance Newmark might not know which way they're going because this draft just does not have a lot of big stars in it. Everybody is saying the consensus is it's great for filling out a roster, but it's not great if you're looking for impact players. So what could the Commanders possibly do? Let's look into it. Let's first take a look at their picks. As of right this second, unless there are trades made, and there very well could be, the Commanders have their first round pick, which is 29th overall. Then they got a second round pick at 61. They got a fourth round pick at 128, a sixth round pick at 205, and a seventh round pick at 245. Remember, the trades for Deebo Samuel and Marshawn Lattimore last year cost them a little bit of draft capital. So they're going to have to spend wisely and make these picks count. Now, it is very, very possible that Adam Peters goes ahead and trades out of that number one spot. But again, to do that, like you said earlier this week, you got to have somebody that's willing to come up and do it. So let's assume just for a second that the Commanders stay pat. They stay pat with everything they've got, and they just go ahead and pick players at the positions they have right now. They don't make any trades. What are they likely to do? Again, it's wide open right now, and it's going to depend on what everybody else does. But I think there are probably three big categories they would really like to improve upon through the draft. And the first one is, of course, edge rusher. We have heard that for quite some time right now. I would not be surprised if they keep that 29th pick, if they go ahead and pick an edge rusher. Dante Fowler, of course, is gone. You've got a bunch of guys. They've done a lot of work in the offseason, strengthening the defensive line. Javon Kinlaw, they re-signed Dietrich Weiss, Jacob Martin, Eddie Goldman, but they need somebody up there that's going to be impactful. And if they can get one of the top ones, or if one of the top rushers is available, I think they might look at it. Now, I don't think Mike Green is going to be there from Marshall by the time you get down to 29. Donovan Ezeraku, I don't think he's going to be there. Shamar Stewart, Nick Scortron from Texas A&M, maybe. Michael Williams, I think might be a little bit too high for 29. But again, if they're going to go edge rusher, those are some of the guys that they could definitely look at. Dan Quinn said at the combine, you got to have that initial quickness. You got to have that twitch at the line. Do they think any of those guys have that twitch? I guess that's what we're going to find out as the draft rolls on. All right, number two. I think they definitely are going to look for some offensive line help. Now, maybe not in the first round, but it's something that they definitely have to address. We saw it last year. And you know that they've already, how important they think it is because already they've addressed it with a big, big addition in Laramie Tunsil at left tackle. And that starts the process moving here. With Tunsil now installed at left tackle, you can kick Brandon Coleman over to the right side, either right guard or right tackle. You could flip-flop him and Andrew Wiley because Andrew Wiley's also played guard during his time. You've got Nick Allegretti set at least for the beginning of the season at left guard. But what happens when Sam Cosmi comes back? And can Sam Cosmi come back this season? We're looking at probably October, maybe the 1st of November before they get him back. So, do they look for somebody that can be not just a good depth piece, but maybe let them move on from Wiley here after a year or so? It's a good question. Again, it's not the best draft for offensive linemen, so I would definitely I know they've shown interest in a couple of guys. Tyler Booker from Alabama is a guy they've liked. Josh Connerly Jr. from Oregon is a guy they've liked. Anthony Belton from North Carolina State, again, another one that is, that's a good prospect. They got to improve run blocking. You saw what a big weakness that was, especially down the stretch. I mean, their running game was basically Jaden throughout most of the stretch run. So they definitely are going to look at some point to improve on that. Now, I was going to put running back here for our final one, but I'm going to go cornerback. Again, yes, made the big swing for Marshawn Lattimore, but you still need help back there. You've got Mike Sanders still, who looks like he is a bona fide starter, but I think if you put a gun to their head, I think they'd love to play Sanders still in the slot still. Instead of on the outside. You know, they did sign Jonathan Jones and they re-signed Noah Igbenogany. So that's good. Who are some of the defensive backs that they might be looking at? Guys like Maxwell Harrison from Kentucky, Trey Amos from Ole Miss, who we have talked about before, Jahadi Barron maybe from Texas, Quincy Riley from Pitt. Those are some guys that you know, they're going to look at mid to late part of the draft. And they could also, and I think they're also going to be looking at running back. Again, I think they love Brian Robinson, but, you know, it's all about performance, and you got to have somebody that's a game breaker. They don't have a lot of game-breaking speed back there. So whether it's a guy like Ollie Gordon or Jordan Blue or some of the other guys that we've talked about, Trevion Henderson, I think Trevion Henderson would be a guy, if they are going to make a move, if they're going to make a reach a little bit, if they're going to gamble on somebody, I'd say they'd go with Trevion Henderson from Ohio State. And that might be where they go in the first round if they keep that pick. But again, at this point, like I said, it is absolutely wide open, and we have absolutely no idea where they're going to be going. Draft gets started tonight. Adam Peters is going to talk. After they make their first round selection, we're going to listen into the press conference, give you a full wrap-up on the first day coming up tomorrow. Remember, don't forget, hit the like and subscribe button so you don't miss a day of Commanders Daily. We will talk to you again tomorrow. And remember, like the wise man once said, if you're out on your bike tonight, as always, do wear white.